Heidi, Heidi, ho, everyone.
Good morning. Live from Portland, Oregon.
It's Alleyvision.
Saturday morning, time to pour paint.
We're getting zoomed in and checking up, making sure everything's just right for you.
And I hope everybody caught the announcement. We're only broadcasting on one stream this week, so we can keep it focused on what we need to do, which is pour.
Right. Less is more with the technology thing.
So let's pour.
So we hope you guys have been having a nice morning. We've been having a fantastic week with lots of stuff going on. We successfully completed the Tigered Art Walk last week. That was awesome. We had a great time and a lot of people learned about pouring.
Made some new friends. Sold a few paint kits. Had a real good time.
Had a great time. We're just giving everybody a chance to get in here, and we're going to start showing some examples here. I'm going to flip through some so everybody can see kind of like what a tree ring is, how do you accomplish it, how do you load the cup, what can you use it for. And I use them a lot in my fine art work with the pour painting. I spend a lot of time using this particular technique because it is so... You can use it in so many varied ways, and it gives you a great result for specific things. So I use it in skies a lot, especially if I'm trying to do like a cosmic sky or something like that, something dramatic. And I'll also use it as landscapes, as the ground.
It's just really a cool effect. Really simple to do. It's a great way to get into it and have some fun and have something really cool to hang on your wall.
Super easy to do. Super easy to do, and it will allow you to do a lot more with your paintings if you're wanting to do something a little bit more than just the random pour. But we will do a random pour to start out with, just to get warmed up.
A little rain in Portland, Oregon today. Much needed.
Our bamboo is loving it. And let's get to it. All right, so the tree ring. This is your basic tree rings. This one we just did recently, this last week, and anybody joining us from the acrylic pour painting group on Facebook. Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Everybody really liked this one because of the depth that I was able to create. The lines they just came out perfectly right, and it allowed the whole thing to look like a tunnel. Absolutely awesome, perfectly dry now, and it dried wonderfully. So that's one example. This is another one I did this last week just for practice. Actually, I was kind of just pouring my feelings at the time, so it was a little intense that day. What we ended up here with is like something really cool as far as abstract roses. It gives you flower shapes. It gives you great spacey things. So that's another example. And this one is just your basic tree ring. I mean, I just poured it and then it looks so cool, we just left it. And it can give you these really great, wonderful techniques too. I mean, you can use it just as itself and they're really quite beautiful. And here's one used in a landscape. See how it gives you that cosmic, spacey feel. Lots of great little tiny cells that actually look like stars and give you some texture. And the bottom part of this is just a ribbon pour. So those are examples, and that's what we're kind of wanting to do today. We're going to work on that. So welcome everybody from wherever and you are in the world. We're super glad you are here and so grateful.
If you have any questions about our materials or what we're using, we have videos on how we mix and what we're using. Basically, acrylic paint with Floetrol.
Yes, our mix is no big secret. We share it every time. Our mix is 1 part paint to 4 parts Floetrol and about a ½ ounce of water.
No silicone, no funny stuff.
No additives, no torching.
Totally organic pouring. Well, whatever, almost.
So I'm going to put the cup on there so you guys can see how I load a tree ring, and let's just go through the basic tree ring real quick, okay? Let's do something a little bit dramatic with a little bit of pop. Let's do a hot one. The color at the bottom of your cup is going to be the center of your ring at the end. So when you're loading the cup for a tree ring, you actually have to think backwards from the bottom of the cup up. And that really helps you with not getting mud, because you can see how it works. So I also tend to put rings in when I load. So that was bright red, yellow ochre, and this is bright, deep cadmium yellow. So when that puppy hits the very bottom, it should have some good light in it. A little bit of white. And give it just a tiny bit more shimmer with some metallic yellow. Now I'm just going to build the rest of the cup. It can be anything you want, any color. You can go from any direction. So let's put some bright crimson in there. Maybe a shot of magenta over here on just this side, so that we'll only have it on one side of the ring. Who doesn't love neon pink?
Yeah, everybody loves neon pink.
Put that on the other side of that one. Now I'm going to separate these colors with a little light, because that's what gives you the light in the ring. A little white. I'm going to give it a shot of gold too, because that'll be shimmery fun. And then you just like move through. Move through. It'll be a bright, happy pour.
A lot of the times we have almost the same colors in regular and metallic. So you get to play with the viscosities.
Right, that's actually what we count on to make our sails, is the actual chemistry of the paint itself. All paint has a weight because it's made with minerals that are then suspended in, the acrylic base. So heavier minerals will sink to the bottom of your painting, and lighter minerals will move to the top. So basically, if you have more pigment in your paint, you have a heavier paint. And you kind of figure that out as you go along. You start to kind of get that. It starts to feel right. You know which ones will play against each other. That was cobalt blue and prism purple. And just for fun.
Da, 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 the favorite color.
Oh, my favorite color in the world.
Keep it real, add some teal.
And this is the phthalo, because it's a really beautiful,
interacts
rich,
well with that blue too.
And we need to put in a little spot of something metallic. Let's see, what do we got? Nope, that's not the one I want. How about a shot of Payne's Gray? Okay, because I put some metallic medium in that one. Alright, I'm not going to flood the canvas. I'm just going to pour it out so that we can get moving.
You gotta have some paint left for the other one.
Alright, so your cup's loaded. You just kind of pinch it a little bit. And then once you start, don't stop. Just stay steady and in the middle of your ring. Start with a larger ring because it's easier for your hand to control. And then start moving in. And there's that bright color that we anticipated at the bottom of the cup.
And see how the paint is coming out in a smaller and smaller and smaller thread, so you're able to get that smaller and smaller line. Whereas if you would have started the opposite direction and started in the middle, pouring small, would have wound up happening on the outside instead of the inside.
All right.
Stretching.
See? It's pretty cool, huh? Turned out pretty good. Okay, now let's stretch it out and see what we got. I like to do mine in a circle. And we just move pretty slow here. And I know I can hear everybody yelling, "Oh my God, those cells! You're losing them!" It's okay, other cells will happen.
Chaos chemistry.
It's all good. Just roll with it. You go slow.
I love the blue over there, that's great. that's looking good,
That's
man.
looking pretty good. So, you know, you could backfill that with a black or white, and it would just pop right off the canvas. It's got a really nice depth to it. I don't really stretch them that much because they tend to lose their zhuzh, you know, they tend to lose their shape pretty quick, and those colors are still mixing. So this way it looks like, there we go, that's what I wanted. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now you have a composition here, even though it's just a random pour and you're just working with chemistry, your chaos chemistry here. You do have a composition with a tree ring. That's why I like them so much, because they produce, yeah, go ahead. They produce a wonderful composition all on their own. They produce depth, contrast, tone, and shading for you. And all you got to do is remember that the bottom of your cup is the center of your ring, and that's the spectacular part. If you keep that in mind, then the rest of your cup can be whatever you want, really. And those background supporting colors support your center, which gives you depth and perception. Perspective, I mean.
We're just putting in some negative space now, and then it'll flow out, and this will really highlight what we have in the center.
And support it.
Yep, we might get just one more little stretch to make everything interact rather than me pushing it. But it'll flow in. And almost there.
All right. See, that's not so hard. Anybody can do a tree ring. They're easy and they're fun. And I promise you, if you practice this with kids, they go banana crackers. It's so much fun. They love it.
Let that interact.
And we'll just move it to the edges here a little bit.
Yep.
Let's put that back in the middle where we want it. Shake it a little bit. That's a good thing to do instead of tilting, to shake things into place.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't lose your line. And then take your handy dandy knife and fix it wherever it didn't grab on.
Okay.
You always want to have your edges done before you finish. It really does help with presentation if you guys are going to be selling your work. Always finish your sides. Always make everything as neat and clean as you possibly can. Imagine you're buying your painting.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you want? You know, what do you expect? Well, that's what everybody else wants and expects too. And it also becomes part of your brand and part of your style and part of your voice.
And by the way, you did buy this painting because you bought the canvas and you bought the paint and you put the time in.
That's right. There you go. So that's your first, just your basic tree ring. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Settle in. We're going to do a big one. That was just the warm-up.
Zoom back out here, folks.
Let's do a 16 by 20. Come on. No dilly-dallying. Let's do it. All right, for this one, I think, though, we will try to do something that has a little bit of composition to it. And let's talk about composition and just your basics in art. As far as painting goes, these are things that I use in my... Not screen reading. Okay, everybody, sorry about that. Seems like we lost you for a second. We're back. We're trying to get back, so hold on just one second. How do I do the screen mirroring? That's not it. Hold on, folks. We'll be right back.